Hey there. Ready to dive into a topic that's, well, it never gets old, does it? Integrity. And we're tackling it today with a little help from Warren Buffett and Jordan Peterson.
Interesting combo. What do you think linking investing and the meaning of life?
Right. We've got three videos lined up, each with its own spin on integrity. We'll hear how Buffett connects it to success. Then Peterson, he ties it to personal strength. And then, hold on, it gets kind of philosophical. We're talking our place in the universe, big picture stuff.
Sounds like a ride. Where do we even start?
Well, Buffett, he pulls you in right away with this thought experiment, right? Imagine he's offering you 10% of a classmate's lifetime earnings. But, got to pick which classmate, based on their potential.
And he's clear, it's not about grades, right? It's
Huh.
character.
Exactly. He's looking for integrity, honesty, that generosity, someone going the extra mile.
Hmm.
Stuff you can't really teach in school, can you? Built over time, choices, all that.
Then he flips it, which is wild. Pick a classmate whose earnings you'd short bet against. Again, it's character flaws, isn't it? Seeing those weak spots in someone.
Shows you how someone might act in the future, based on their past. Buffett's saying you can almost predict their whole path. Like, take someone like Elon Musk, right? Brilliant, driven, but also known for sticking to his guns, kind of lines up with Buffett's idea that integrity can really predict if you'll be successful long term.
And then the opposite people who seem successful at first, but that lack of integrity, it catches up, doesn't it? Like,
Real world stuff gets even more interesting when Buffett talks about how he hires. Intelligence, energy, integrity. Those are his big three. But here's the kicker. Without integrity, the first two, they can be dangerous.
all those stories of brilliant but ruthless people, intelligence and drive without a moral compass, it's scary what damage it can do.
No kidding. So how does this apply to us regular folks, even if we're not, Fortune 500 CEOs?
Comes back to who we want to be. Buffett's whole thing is we choose these qualities, build ourselves into the kind of person others would invest in, Someone who walks the walk.
We've got the importance of integrity down, but how do we actually build it? Enter Jordan Peterson and his idea of radical honesty.
It sounds intense. What's that even mean?
It might sound like, whoa, hardcore, but really it's about being honest with yourself first. Peterson's saying, question everything you say. Does this make me feel stronger, more solid, more me? That's the question.
It's like those times you realize you're just saying stuff to please people, to fit in, even though deep down you feel totally different.
Oh yeah, that feeling of shrinking back a little, like
Yeah.
you're not being real.
Peterson says that's the weakening talk. Chips away at your integrity because it's not matching up with what you actually value.
Almost like living a lie, even if it's a small one.
Yeah,
And those add up, don't they?
exactly. Now flip it, imagine saying what you really think, even when it's uncomfortable. He says that's how you build strength, that spine we think of with integrity.
You know, I tried this just to see. And at first, so awkward, right? Like, wow, I say a lot on autopilot, not because I mean it, but honestly, started to feel more genuine, more myself.
Right. It's not about being perfect. It's about, do your actions and your values actually line up? And through that, you become someone who can handle tough stuff without, breaking character.
So we've gone from Buffett's, like, spotting integrity to Peterson's how to build it inside. But then he goes even deeper, starts talking about a leap of faith in the goodness of, well, being.
Things get kind of meta, right? He's linking being a good person to something way bigger.
Aligning yourself with truth in how you think, what you do. It's almost an act of faith that makes things better, not just for you, but for everyone.
I can see how that might sound kind of out there, but there's something kind of powerful about it, too. There really is. It doesn't have to be religious, even. Peterson says, even cynical people, life has a way of making you figure out your own moral code, especially when things get rough.
Like, even when it's the worst, integrity still matters. Holding on to your values, that's how you make it through.
And that's where his best bet idea comes in. He's not saying it's easy or that you'll get rich or whatever. It's about aligning yourself with something bigger, something that means something, even if you don't see the reward right away.
It's like, do the right thing even when no one's looking. That whole idea, that inner voice, knowing you want to be a certain way no matter what.
And that loops back to Buffett, right? He's saying building that integrity, that's a long game. The choices you make now, they're shaping who you'll be years from now. Someone reliable, someone who wins in the end, not just on the outside.
So we went from Buffett, spotting integrity, to Peterson, how to grow it, and then, whoa, it's like the bedrock of existence itself. Lot to unpack. How do we, sum this up for everyone listening?
It's a journey, isn't it? Like any good thing, taking these ideas and seeing how they fit into your life, That's the work.
We got the map, but we get to pick the route, right?
Exactly. Where to even start, though? That radical honesty thing, that's huge. What you say, what you do, are those matching up with what you believe? Building you up or wearing you down? Just noticing makes a difference.
Being more aware, even in small moments. How many times do we just agree to be agreeable, even if it feels a little off? He's pushing us to be real, even then.
Right. And bigger picture, use Buffett's stuff as a guide. Who do you look up to? What is it about them, their character, and how can you become a little more like that? Finding those examples, that's inspiring, right?
So it's both inner work, Peterson's honesty challenge, and then looking outward, those Buffett-approved people. Not about being perfect, but showing up as your best self, even when it's tough.
Because in the end, it's not just some fancy word, right? It's the choices we're making, day after day.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this. If it really is a muscle we can train, what are you going to do today to give your integrity a workout? Something to think about this week. Thanks for joining this deep dive. Always a pleasure. Until next time, keep those questions coming and keep exploring.